Well, identifying the basic issue is not an easy task, and I'm not sure that very many have identified it in its full dimensions. But for myself, there's a single great difficulty that exists in our approach to the devastation of the planet that we're witnessing. There's a single flaw in all of these establishments that they're not dealing with. The flaw is to put a discontinuity between the non-human and the human, or more properly, the other than human and the human, and to give all the inherent values, all the inherent rights to the human, and no absolute values, no basic rights to the non-human, so that the non-human world becomes a victimized or exploited or used by the human. And this brings us to the statement that all four of these establishments, we might say, use the natural world, they use the universe in a way that is exploitative. A person might say that the concept of use dominates, certainly it dominates economics. What is not used is wasted. If you have a stand of trees that is not being used, it's wasted. If you have resources, a beach, if you have resources in the sea or a river, if a river is not being used, it's wasted. If the water flows and is not used, it's wasted. And that sense justifies the idea that the human at all costs. In other words, the human has become the basic referent of everything. It has become the basic referent of value, of action. And particularly, it has become normative if some human inconvenience is involved, and sometimes even human survival, we might say, then anything can be done as regards the natural world. It validates, the human validates any kind of action against the non-human. It's always been that way, hasn't it? So what I would suggest that we must go back to some very elementary basic thinking and basic action. The person says, well, if it's not used, then what is the alternative? Well, I put this in a context of a book of poems that was sent to me for children. I think it's good to go to the children and see what is the basic relation between the human and the non-human. And somebody sent me a book of poetry for children and asked me to comment on it, and I commented on it, and then wrote a little verse of my own, saying it this way: the child awakens to a universe. The mind of the child to a world of wonder, imagination, to a world of beauty, emotions, to a world of intimacy. It takes a universe to make a child, both in outer form and inner spirit. It takes a universe to educate a child. It takes a universe to fulfill a child. And the basic obligation of each generation as regards the next generation is to bring these two together so that the child is fulfilled in the universe and the universe is fulfilled in the child. It's that simple. What is life all about? It's about wonder and beauty and intimacy. And that's what's so disappointing. It's to sacrifice so much beauty and so much wonder in the service sometimes of trivial things on the part of the human. Now, this the natural world tells us, I will feed you, I will clothe you, I will shelter you, I will heal you. But don't use me in a way that is destructive of that which I really want to give to you. What I'm here to do is not primarily or simply to give you food and clothing, shelter, healing. It's to give you something, to give you that, but to give you something more wonderful, to take you to a vision, to an experience of something that's beyond measure, something more wonderful than you can even imagine, but something that is ultimately an entrancement. I'm here to provide entrancement. So what is the normative thing? Now, I talk about the universe because the universe is the only self-referent mode of being in the phenomenal world. That is basic to everything. That's where everything begins. It's where life begins. It's where education begins. It's where law begins, morality, religion, or whatever. It all begins with the universe. And this is so important. Now, this sounds a little abstract, but it is that part of the universe that's closest to us. It is the universe expressed in the planet Earth that tells us this. The planet Earth tells us this. The natural world tells us this. It tells us, I'm here to give you wonder and beauty and intimacy, entrancement. But I know that we need to communicate this in and through the material things that I give you. I give you water to drink, but that's not simply water to something, nourishment for a physical mode of being, but for the psychic mode of being. It's a psychic thing. And so I give you the rivers, and I know you have need of energy and irrigation and such things, but you must do this in such a way that I don't feel used. In fact, I think that among humans, the most awful thing that one human being can say to another is, "You used me." And that's what the natural world is telling us. You used me. Now, this is such an obvious thing. And this is something that a person has to think about.